Dr. Phil, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. Anna says her boyfriend, Sammie Strong, used to live down the street until he moved to Nigeria 3 years ago. I knocked on the doors of several of the homes in this close-knit neighborhood, including the one that Sammie Strong told Anna was his. The owner of that home declined to speak on camera. I spoke with one neighbor who agreed to appear on camera.
Have you ever seen this man before?
No. I've lived here for 12 years. All the neighbors on the street, it's all black. So somebody of a different race or ethnicity would definitely stand out.
He never owned the house at that address. His name never appeared on the documents for that house. He never lived there. That's all a lie. Well, Anna says she wants my help getting her boyfriend, Sammie Lee Strong, out of detention in Nigeria. Well, ask and you shall receive. We found the man in the photos. I'm happy to report that Sammie Lee Strong is in fact not critically ill. He's not in Nigeria either.
My name is Khaled. I am born in Lebanon. My age is 55 years old. I have a wife and 4 boys.
Well, joining us all the way from Beirut, Lebanon, via satellite, this is the man that you have been told is Sammie Lee Strong. How do you feel looking at the man that you have believed to be someone else?
It's just sad. Now, see, I fell in love with this man. He has a wife and a family.
A Google image search of Sammie's photo led us to a website where Khaled's photo appeared 370 times. Well, if you can believe it, there is actually a lot more to this story. While my team was searching to find the man behind the photos, they came across Kathy, who runs a worldwide Facebook scam alert page. Kathy says she has known about Khaled for the past 8 years. Now, I asked my team to kill the feed to Khaled, so he's not listening right now. I'd like to add Kathy into this conversation, who is joining us now from the Canary Islands.
I know women who have met him, who went to Tripoli, Lebanon, to meet him, to give him money. I know that he got together with the boys from Nigeria to give him the pictures, to give those young men pictures, and taught him how to scam.
Kathy actually led us to Samantha, who says she was personally scammed by Khaled. Samantha is on the phone because she really doesn't want to show her face. Tell us what your experience has been with Khaled.
He appears to be a great man, a charming man, but he will invite you into his family and then ask you for money.
He got money from you?
Yes, he's had about £2,000 from me.
And you've been to Lebanon to see him on 4 different occasions, correct?
The last time I went was in February this year.
But now...
I've got nothing but contempt for the man. I know of at least 5 women who I've spoken to who he has taken money off them himself personally and not gone through as a false name.
So, Kathy, do you suspect that he may be at least coaching the people that are interacting, dealing with Anna here as Sammie Lee Strong?
Yes, of course.
Now, he's not been listening, but we're going to add him back to the conversation right now. Khaled, thank you for being patient. Do you know a woman from England named Samantha?
Yes, I know.
Because we've been talking to Samantha, and Samantha tells us that she feels like you have been a scammer with her. There is a woman by the name of Katharina in the Canary Islands in Spain that she has evidence that you have been training Nigerian boys to use your pictures to scam people around the world into sending money, and that you get a cut of the money that they send in.
I don't know Katrina before.
Do you train Nigerian boys on how to scam women on the internet?
Even my photo, my Facebook, I don't know how I can do something. Sometimes I take my son to help me. Samantha is my friend.
Well, she's on the phone right now. Samantha, are you his good friend?
Not really, no.
Did he take advantage of you, Samantha?
Absolutely.
How?
Using me for money, taking advantage, brought me into his family, promised me everything and gave me nothing.
Khaled, you heard Samantha, right? She said you brought her into your family, you promised her everything, took money from her, and gave her nothing.
Please, I don't hear what Samantha talk.
Well, Samantha, say it again.
I've said, Khaled, that you brought me into your family, took advantage of me, made me feel part of your family, and then asked me for money. And I gave you money. And you know very well I did. And I know at least 5 other women that's given you money and you've denied every single one of those women.
She says that you brought her into your family, you got her to give you money, and she knows at least 5 other women that you got to give you money.
Yes.
How I use Samantha money, how I take money if don't they help me, as they said before. She told me, you know me, I am still without work long time. And she told me I am like support for you. And when she coming in Lebanon, I do the best thing for her. I make my car for her as a driver. And I open my house and open my father's house, and I am with her, and I respect this lady too much because she's very, very good lady in my life.
She says she knows 5 other women you've gotten to give you money. Is that true?
Absolutely, yes.
No.
Oh, don't lie, Khaled.
She says you're lying.
Give me one lady and let her to know me. Yes, I told you,
No.
Samantha, she helped me. I told you, she helped me without force. Another lady, I don't know. I don't know any lady.
I respect them. They have asked me not to give names, and I will not
Let
give
me
any
know.
names, Khaled. But you know I know them. I've spoken to them. That is not an excuse anymore.
All right, Kathy, are you there?
Yes,
You have evidence that this man has scammed other women, correct?
yes.
Can you hear Kathy all right? Khaled, can you hear Kathy?
You are a
Sure,
scammer. I hope you hear me. Because you are an evil scammer.
I cannot hear you. Please increase the voice.
That is Kathy, and she says you are an evil scammer.
How? If I don't know you, I don't hear. I never know you this lady. I never know this lady before. I don't know the name also for this lady. I don't have this name before.
Well,
Sorry. What is name? Coco?
her name is Katharina, and she says you are an evil scammer,
Excuse
and she
me, I
runs a
don't know you.
website that
excuse me.
investigates these things, and she knows several women that say you have scammed them out of money. Correct, Kathy?
Yes, correct.
I was scammed out of almost $100,000 by someone I had met online. My husband suddenly passed away in 2017. After he was gone, I was looking for some companionship. I met a man online. He called himself Johnston County. He told me he was a diamond distributor and he traveled to mines all over the world. First, he had told me that he was short some money for some diamonds he purchased, so I sent him $27,500. A few days later, he asked me for $18,000 more. And then he was short about $60,000, and I only had $48,000 left, and so I sent him that because he said he was detained at the airport. I thought they were loans. He wrote promissory notes saying that he would pay back with interest. Got suspicious, and I just decided to call the police. They said there is no such person. I'm just a very trusting person, and I just ignored all the red flags. I wanted to prevent it from happening, even to just one person. So I reached out to Dr. Phil because he's got a voice, he's got power, and most of all, he's got credibility. So I wanted to get the word out, and if any way we can prevent this, let's do so.
Well, Connie, it's so good to see you.
Thank you, Dr. Phil.
And you've been listening to our conversation with Anna, and you have been down that road.
I've been there, done that, yes.
And what'd you want to say to Anna?
Well, I was getting emotional back there because I really felt for you. I know how it's been, and I know not only the journey that you're going on, but what you're going to go through. Right now, you have two roads, just two roads. One of those roads right now is you can continue on the path that you're taking, and you can lose the rest of your money. You could take out mortgage, you could take out loans, you could lose everything, and even your family, and then you'll be brokenhearted. The other road is you could stop now, and you'll still be brokenhearted. But at least you stopped, and you still have your family. But there is no other road. There isn't that road with Sammie, with the love and with all of the promises, because those are just empty promises. Somebody that loves you is not going to want to be taking money from you. They want you to be safe and secure. They're going to want you to keep your money, every dime of it. And it was only until the time when he asked me for a loan. And I thought, I just gave you all of my retirement savings, and now you're asking me for a loan? You're supposed to love me, and you want me to take out money? And he swore, well, as soon as I get back in a couple of days. And I said, but you keep saying that. And I thought, well, this is too much, so I had to go to the police.
You missed a lot of red flags along the way, right?
I missed a lot, and you know what? I knew that they were red flags, and yet there were so many things that he said, and he was so loving and so kind, and almost like, and this was the first red flag, he was the perfect man. And I don't think that exists. Sorry, Dr. Phil, you may not agree, but he was just too perfect. He would never want to argue. And then the police came and they said, this person doesn't exist. So the first thing I did was I went to the bank and I closed my accounts and opened up new ones. Then I went to his house where he supposedly lived, because he lived right in the next town. I went to his house and he didn't live there.
When you look back, 2020, it's really clear. But at the time,
Sure.
it's hard to see, and it was hard for Anna to see as well. Well, after Connie learned that she was scammed, she sent this photo of Johnston to a friend from Germany to see if he recognized the scenery. She says she had a feeling the man behind the photos of Johnston was European and was curious for any information about the man she thought she loved. Well, Connie says her friend revealed Johnston's photo was taken in Austria, but other than that, she doubts he has any knowledge about his photos being used. Well, it turns out Connie's friend was right, and maybe we should give him a job, because we found the man in that photo, and he was in Austria in that picture. However, he's not European, and his name isn't Johnston, but he's here today. We believe he is a victim of having his identity stolen, as his photos are being used online without his knowledge or consent. So, Ron, come on out. Ron, come on out. It's so good to see you.
Nice to see you, Dr. Phil.
And I'm so sorry that your photos have been taken and used and people have been exploited. But what did you want to say to Connie?
I'm a victim just as well, and I'm sorry whatever happened to you. But and learning about all of this catfishing and different things going on, I pulled up one of my pictures through reverse imaging, and it's been used over 55 times.
What is it like to actually see the man that you thought was someone else? And
I'm really surprised, I have to say. I'm really surprised. I knew it wasn't you that I was speaking to. And the more I looked at the online dating sites and would go through profiles, I would see your picture come up with different names.
Yes.
But there's your, I'm like, there he is again, there he is again. And even that picture from Austria in the background,
Yes.
another one validating that, you know, this really wasn't him. It couldn't possibly be.
Right. And, you know, Ron is very happily married, and you've been married how long?
2 years, May 19th.
Uh-huh. And he's not at all involved in this. You know that. He's, as he said, he's been victimized so many times. And it's interesting to look at the similarities between Sammie Lee Strong and Johnston Conti. Both were met online. Both claimed to be widowed. Both had very vague info. Never video chatted because, you know, they can steal the pictures, but they can't actually get on camera and talk because it's not who they are. They both said they worked overseas. Both said they had been detained. Both owed money, so needed help financially. Had associates that you could send money to when they were detained. Had money delivered to different locations. I mean, it's just the same pattern. These guys have a playbook. The typical patterns of excuses online love scammers use, they're arrested, hospitalized, sick, have sick children, money, credit cards stolen, frozen bank accounts, shipwrecked. Relatives are usually dead, so you can't track anybody down. They're usually younger, really attractive persona. They're poetically romantic. They're lost or stolen passports, expired visas or passports. They're beaten up on the way to the airport. They're stuck in foreign countries until taxes are paid. They're widowed, no face-to-face, poor grammar, fake documents, photoshopped pictures, expecting large amounts of money, and they have these terrible sob stories. And Anna, when we look at your story and go through and say, you know, just how many of these things were used in the story with you, and we check those off, boy, it's just all over the chart when we go through, look at all of the hits of what they used out of their playbook in the story. They used all of these elements in the story to get to you and sell the story. So you can see that's the typical things they say, and they used all of those things with you, and with you having stolen his picture. You might remember my next guest from last season when she instantly became a Dr. Phil viewer favorite. The last time she was here, she sat on this stage with her ex-husband, Robert, who blew their $1 million retirement fund on day trading and online love. Jeremy says because of Robert's actions, she was living in a small, rundown apartment, and at 72 years old was still having to work full-time because he had lost everything they had spent their life working to save for their years of retirement.
I believe my ex-husband, Bob, has lost his mind. When we retired, he began to get involved in a day trading.
I had to tell her we lost everything.
Our $1 million nest egg was gone. After 40 years of marriage, I filed for divorce.
At this point, there's approximately a half dozen women that I have a strong interest in.
For a man who's supposed to be smart, he is dumber than most.
In a perfect world, you would like somebody that's young, attractive, interesting, funny, exotic, and rich.
Yes, if that's possible. This lady is Jane. This is April. April and I are engaged. She's in the country of Tonga. I think in her particular case, I don't think she is scamming. This is Sophie Preston. She lives in the Modesto area in California. I've already said Sophie, about $10,000.
Well, we did some sleuthing and we found out some interesting things about Sophie Preston. You did look at her passport.
Yes.
And this is clearly fraudulent. The lines down here are red.
It's
real
clearly
ones.
fraudulent.
This is her driver's license. Okay, you know this is fraudulent
Absolutely.
too. Okay, so she said you have a fraudulent passport and a fraudulent driver's license. Show me a document that's not fraudulent.
Well, I don't have it on me. Do you understand that your assistants were asking for information at a rapid-fire rate over a lot of people in a very short period of time?
You were busy being belligerent is the reason you were having trouble getting all your documents
Is that a fact?
together. Yes, that is a fact.
Okay. Wait a minute, you're talking over me. Stop talking over me. If you want the answer, you're gonna have to let me talk, okay?
You are a loudmouth bully. You want to bully them, bully me, Buster.
I have spent the last 4 years working myself crazy
I know.
in order to be able to live.
I know.
Well, these women have seen your $8,000, your $4,000, your $10,000, your $19,000, and I haven't.
Your point is, whatever he spent, whether it's $30,000, $50,000, $100,000, would make a huge difference in your life.
It would. I don't have a home. I have an apartment. We used to have homes. I put things up on the wall, but they have to come back down. And that's the way the rest of my life is going to be.
Well, joining us via Ionico is Jeremy. Jeremy, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Well, it's good to see a smile on your face.
Yes, it is.
So tell me what's happened since you were here last.
Wow. That's about all I can say is wow. Can I take just a second and say to Anna, thank you for having the response that you had to Dr. Phil's information, to humbly accept the fact you were wrong for a while and now you can make things right. I wish that my ex-husband, Robert, could have had that humility, but he didn't. And as a result, the wonderful people who were watching Dr. Phil thought that maybe I should get a little payback for the things that had happened to me. And they opened their hearts, opened pocketbooks, and over 1,500 people donated to me in a GoFundMe, and they donated $80,000. And then when the show re-aired, they gave another $20,000. So now I have $102,000. I have been able to buy a small house in a small town in Missouri, and I love it. I love it crazy lot. I love everything about it. I love that it's 110 years old. I love doing the lawn, working with the lawn and working outside and working inside. And I am so happy and I am so grateful. I mean, in my opinion, only God could have put the thing together where I went in for a intervention with my ex-husband and came out with a house.
Well, Jeremy, I think that is just so great, and I've got the best viewers in the world, and I am so proud that that has worked out that way, and you don't have to live in a little apartment and taking stuff down off the wall and moving from one place to another, and you've got a house that you can call home, and that will be yours from now on. So I am just so grateful that everybody has responded in the way that they have. And we take this very seriously, and we do take it seriously with you, Anna. And as I told you, I take no pleasure in delivering news that you don't want to hear, but I do take pleasure in helping kickstart your life going forward. And you're so blessed to have these people that love and care about you here. And, you know, don't look back, look forward, just as Connie has, and just know that your life's ahead of you, and put this behind you and just create some happiness in your life. I know it's there for you.
Thank you.
Okay? All right.
Anna wanted to marry Sammie, who's stuck in Nigeria, but the plot thickens as more women come forward.
She says she knows at least 5 other women who got to give you money. Is that true?
No.
She says you are an evil scammer.
I never know this lady before.
New Dr. Phil. All part of Dr. Phil's Catfish Week.